Rob, how are you?
Hey,
Just want to give you a general idea about this project here. This house was built in 1914. As you can see, it's got the original granite stone. And Structure Creations, they came along and they designed a very well put together project. As you can see, what we've done here, we've added on a garage, a mudroom, and we tore off the third floor existing and reframed it and did an addition on the back as well. So this house is very unique because it's got 1914, and we're also adding on, or sorry, should I say, we're bringing in the old character of the exterior trim and facade. And this is something that you will see right from the beginning to the end. And so hopefully you'll kind of get some insights what this is all about, Rob.
Absolutely. Can't wait till it comes together.
All right. Cheers. Thank you.
Hey, Bruce, how are you? Good, how are you?
Good, good. Glad you made it here on this project.
No, it's...
Darren, I really have to give you credit, and this is the reason why I wanted you down here. This is a great architectural job that you've done, considering a historical home. And I just want to take everybody through and go through the project with you and see what you've created.
Well, the kudos goes both ways, my friend. It's the silk purse and Sauzier thing. You've really done a phenomenal job in tying the two together. So, you know, it goes both ways, my friend.
All right, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a little walkthrough.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Once again, I just like the stone detail that this house has left.
Well,
it's got the the covered porch detail with the oak ceiling. It really it pulls everything together.
140, 150 years old. Though?
Is it? Really?
I think so, yeah. I think, one of the original farm homes from the area. Yeah. But unique for its style because it had the brick above and the stone below, so it was really, really unique.
Yeah.
In its style. But I mean, look at the old door, right? And the heights and everything.
Yeah. Well, and that was one of the things too. We got an older kind of like oak door. Mm-hmm. I mean, not older, but just a brand new door. Kind of give it that look, right, with the front facade. All right, let's take a walk inside.
Yeah.
So here we are. Darren,
wow.
Kitchen, family room.
This turned out to be a great space, eh?
Yeah, I think one of the great things that I enjoyed working with Povey Kitchen Cabinets is just the way they come on the job site. Mm-hmm. They're very relaxed. They know what's going on. And obviously you can tell with the finished product that they do a really good job. And I was really impressed just the way the colors came together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. How you put everything to design just worked out well.
Well, they work very well with my clients, and I've always enjoyed working with Jeremy and his crew. But this was a challenge because I remember you pulling out a giant, the whole back wall of the house here was all stone and brick above, and you guys pulled this all out, and we had specified a big steel beam, but man, I wasn't even sure how you were going to do this. But next thing I show up on the site, and you've got the entire back wall cut out of the back of this house.
Yeah, so. It was a challenge. I mean, we had Kingdom Cutting Company come by. And it was just a challenge. Originally, I thought it was just going to cut it with a quick saw. But 24-inch wall, granite stone, it was quite the challenge. Yeah. And
well, then how you got the beam in here. So this is all two-story, brick above that we've maintained. Yep. No cracking in the brick. We've got this giant steel beam put in here. And now we're able to open up this whole space, get this, the modern open concept style of home, right? Kitchen, eating area, entertaining, as you said, party area.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, in the beginning, I was kind of like, oh, my God, the house is going to fall down. But overall, no, we did our job.
Thankfully, it
worked out well, right?
No, it looks great, buddy.
So, Darren, I'm just curious, like, how did you come together with this must have been a challenge, like putting an old farmhouse, kind of giving it that new look. Like, I really kind of...
Well, we had a couple things to play with. We had to deal with two separate buildings, so the old and the new. Yeah. We wanted to get a garage addition on there, but sort of treat it like a coach house, but modernize it a little bit. Yeah. And then they wanted this great room space in the back, but we had a limited area with the backyard and the setbacks. We had a tree to contend with, and we wanted to separate the house so that we weren't trying to make the addition look like it was part of the original. So we separated it. Yeah. So the color of the outside of the building and the use of board and batten gave it a bit of a coach housey look. Yeah. But the shape of the roof lines, the color of the windows gave it a more modern approach. Yeah. So little flat roofs in between separated the roof peaks and really let the original house stand on its own.
Yeah, and I really like what you spec'd out for the interior trim, because that really gives it that old
Well, it's
detail.
it's a nice traditional trim, so
Yeah.
it's sort of transitional. It works
Yeah.
between both the more contemporary look of the outside of the addition and some traditional elements back into the area. So it's tying everything together.
Yeah, yeah. So, and the other thing is what I really do like is just the amount of windows that are in here. So when you walk in here, it just gives you get a view of the whole property when you walk around, and this covered porch, it really makes the room.
Well, it allows you, I mean, they got a beautiful big backyard that they can, the kids can play in. So having the patio doors on either side, kids can run through. They've got this wraparound porch, which basically creates a lap for the kids to run around in, right? Type idea. But it just allows a great use of the space and allows you to bring the outside in and vice versa. So I think it turned out great. And the floor to ceiling windows, just opening everything up. I think this turned out fantastic.
And it's funny because a lot of people, they have their dream is to have a wraparound porch. When you really talk to a lot of people, especially ladies in general, that they really like the wraparound porch, and which we've achieved here. And you'll see later on in the video, basically the covered porch. So why don't we just go upstairs and kind of do a tour through there, and then we'll come back and do a wraparound tour of the back part.
Sounds great.
All right. All right, so let's go up to the second floor.
This is the original staircase, not the original staircase, but the original.
But yeah,
location,
the original opening going up, and that was a challenge as well. Like, and I'm sure in your head you must have been scratching a few times, say, "Hey, how are we going to go about this?"
It looked good on drawings.
Yeah,
right? So.
yeah, exactly. But it worked out well.
Yeah, no, I think you and I had a couple meetings here about this a couple of times, just to get the headroom space, code, all that kind of stuff. Well, but I love this.
I think the overall, even the trades guys, that we were all kind of scratching our head a few times, and Kennedy's stairs, they came along and they did a great job.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think we had to work through a couple different iterations, but this leads up to a beautiful sort of surprise space that we managed to get out of this house at the end of the day too, which I'm telling you just pulled. Yeah,
the third floor was. It was just it was like an old part of the house, and we had to tear it down. It was crazy. But,
well, it was old. It was ceiling joists.
Yeah.
So we were looking. It was standing on old ceiling joists. We had to restructure the whole roof, and didn't we just almost decide let's just take the roof off and redo it?
Yeah. That's what we did. We put new floor joists in here and tore the whole third floor off, and basically all this part here is all brand new, really. So let's take a walk up.
Sure.
This is one of my favorite parts, actually, of the house. When you walk up the stairs, you see this view, right? And you kind of get the view of the whole neighborhood, per se, right? But I love this room.
Well, I mean, again, it's like an added bonus to the house because we really didn't have this beforehand. And to get this kind of vaulted ceilings and getting that giant ridge beam in there and the structure to support all this, and then carry that all the way down the basement, structurally. I mean, I remember watching you guys do it, and it was quite an undertaking.
Yeah. Yeah, it was challenging, and that's really what, I love. I love jobs that are challenging. To me, it's if I'm not being challenged on the job site, then it doesn't really appeal to me, right?
Well, you picked a winner with this one.
Yeah, most definitely, right?
Excellent.
So we got the, kind of like the old bathroom style look here. Well, my mess, the tub is just in its way of getting cleaned up, but I like what she's kind of picked, the tub being here and her vanity. It kind of puts everything together.
Well, it brings a bit of the character of the old part of the house back in, right?
Yeah.
Some of the bullnose tiles in the shower, the old clawfoot tub, the old vanity. But you got a nice little detail in the
heat registers.
In the heat register, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
One of the last little touches.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just had a quick question there. Like, how did you originally get involved in the architectural business?
I've always been interested in it. So I worked in the construction industry myself from about 15 up to about 25. And then once I finished up my degree in architecture, got right into residential design. So pretty much been in it all my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
We started up the company, incorporated it in 2003.
Okay.
And been working ever since.
Just what's the farthest project? Like, have you designed globally or just more or less locally in Ontario?
Yeah, mostly Ontario. We've done some preliminary design stuff for some clients out east in the Maritimes.
Yeah.
We've done some stuff down in the Bahamas and out in BC, but more conceptual designs that have been taken by other people.
Yeah.
And most of our work is really focused in southern Ontario.
Yeah.
You know, cottage country, chalets up in Collingwood and that stuff.
Well, if you ever get a design in Bahamas, by all means, let me tender on it because I'll be more than happy to build in the Bahamas.
I think you'll have to stand in line for that one.
Yeah.
It looks great, buddy. You've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. So Darren, actually, this is one of my favorite parts of the whole job, believe it or not, is the covered porches. And this is one of them. It just gives a good sense of family, bringing people together, having like a barbecue, what have you not. And I like this part of the project.
Well, every house we do, I mean, outdoor living space and entertainment space is so important.
Yeah.
Everybody wants it. I mean, they'd probably double the size of their covered porches and make them as big as their houses if they could. But this is a good size. I mean, I always tell clients, you know, a nice area to eat at or sit out at. You know, this is a comfortable size. So, you know, sit out here when it's pouring rain out or you want to go away from the sun. We sort of crammed this right in between next to the tree here and managed to not disturb that because that was important to the client as well. But it's sort of like the little hub in the corner here, and then it leads you out to the rest of the yard. But covered porches are so huge.
And this particular spot too, because you've got that big a red maple tree here, and it adds a lot of shade to it. Like so.
Well, and some privacy too, right?
Yeah.
So you can sit out here, you can have dinner,
Yeah.
you can relax, have friends over, and you're not really staring at the neighbors. You're not getting the neighbors staring back at you. So I think it was an actually nice asset to keep to the property.
Yeah, and I like the step down here as well. What you've created, you know, stepping down. You've got this little retaining wall that you've incorporated into it.
Well, we had some issues with grade, but I also like the fact that how the stairs just have a termination to it, right? So there's an intent for it. So that was just really the purpose, just to sort of step into the end of the steps nicely. And
Well,
then
the
they've
kids
got this
are
beautiful
enjoying
big backyard.
The kids are just enjoying the backyard.
Oh,
right?
how can they not?
I like to say once again, you've got this great size of a property here.
Oh, yeah.
That you've got to work with, and it just gives it that depth with the board and batten and everything. I like that concept.
Well, it was pulling a bit of the traditional in, right? So interesting modern shape to the roof, slightly obscure. You know, the cantilevered bay window with the dark windows, but then, you know, very nicely just add a little bit of detail into it to bring the traditional back in and tie everything together.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what too? It's like the colors are the perfect color for the area itself, because it's got that luxury, dark, earthly color to it, which you have the neighborhood, the property to basically to get away with this.
well, and the other thing I like too is you know, a big trend now is going black windows, so it's very harsh and very cold.
Yeah.
You know, softer whites, so a little bit more linen colored in this particular case instead of the stark whites, and then more of a charcoal color in the windows. So not getting that harsh contrast of stark whites and stark blacks here, and then not doing every single window, right? So every window is just minimalist. So we've got more of the linen color wrapping around, and then just individual windows that have the charcoal. So it's not in your face, it's more subtle.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, this turned out great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's nice too, the house is elevated out of the ground, so you're getting these big windows into the basement that let light down into there, so the basement becomes a really usable space as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we got the wraparound porch.
The dream.
Yeah.
This
Once again,
actually
I
was
just love the stone.
well. This porch actually was original. Not what you've done, obviously, but the original layout had the porch wrapping around, and they wanted to bring it back and restore it. It was a disaster when we first started talking to them.
Yeah.
But then, you know, there were patio doors out here. A lot of renovations had sort of tweaked on the house a little bit.
Yeah.
So pulling it right back, and I mean, you've done a spectacular job with the trim work here.
Yeah.
Even some of the nicest little details, like just hiding the scupper of the eaves trough there.
Yeah.
You know, well done. That looks great.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what we aim to do. We try to
How long did
We're
it take you to
proud
describe
of our finished work, right?
How long did it take you to describe the wood
Oh,
to the stone?
that was crazy. It was like, yeah, it's just the amount of time, the scribing and all that, everything. It was like, there was no other option, really.
No.
Right?
No. Looks great.
Yeah, and this was the old part of the door. So we've infilled that. And it's funny, I just found something out that if you take a torch to it, it actually will bring it out a little bit more, right? But overall time, it will blend in itself, right?
It'll all tie together. But I love your idea of the oak ceiling.
Yeah.
You know, you were saying it's more traditional?
Yeah, back in the day, that's really what they did. They had oak ceiling, and it was all 2 3/8. And like I said, I had exotic woods. They milled it up, and I've used it a few times, and it's just it was crying for this to have this in this old farmhouse, right?
No, it's perfect. And then I love how you transition, because this is what I was hoping you'd do, is just miter the corners so the wood, ceiling travels around with the wood decking.
Yeah.
Nice thing about this I love is silhouetting the house. So when you look at the lighting, just simple things like little LED pin lights behind the columns. So at night,
actually, I love them.
Yeah.
I mean, they really add. They're not dominant, so when at nighttime you get that little flow.
It's subtle, right? So rather than shining, look at me house.
Yeah.
What they've done is they've subtly silhouetted the house so that it's got a nicer, softer presence in the landscape.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you did a great job, buddy. Thank you very much.
Well, you know what, Darren? I really appreciate you coming on site, and looking forward to doing another project with you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thanks,
Cheers.
pal.
Thank you. Yep. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video with Darren from Structured Creations on this 1914 farmhouse in Oakville. Global Custom Design and Build has actually been affiliated with doing work for Structured Creations on many projects. Our focus is really to do one job at a time, and really that's really what I pride being the owner of the company is what we do. One job at a time to make sure that the quality is there and the budget's there on time, and our clients really enjoy that. I hope you guys take the time to take a look at our website and see what we're all about. We basically thrive on top quality workmanship, and that's really, again, a focus of what we do. Thanks again for your time, and we hope to hear from you in the future. Thank you.